chemin de mes rêves d'enfant. Les lumières de la ville ont chassé les étoiles qui remplissaient mon cœur d'infini de plus grand.
Quand je serai un grand, moi je mettrai les voiles pour parcourir les ciels de mes rêves d'enfant. Quand je serai un grand, moi je mettrai les voiles, je remplirai mon cœur d'infini de plus grand. Et tout autour de la terre, je chercherai la lumière. Et sur le toit de la terre, d'ici j'y verrai plus clair. Les lumières de la ville ne sont rien sans étoiles. C'était écrit avant, bien avant notre temps.
Les lumières de la ville ne sont rien sans étoiles. Écoute, au fond de toi, tout y est bien plus grand. Quand je serai un grand, moi je mettrai les voiles.
Are we all in here? Okay. Well, I'm doing the welcome, so this is a home welcome going home for our Khalid, my baby. So just want to welcome you guys to a homecoming where he's at peace, where it was his choice, and where he's forever be above us and with us, okay? So I'm at peace. The love is strong, of course, for Khalid, and I'm at peace, I'm happy, he's happy, and unfortunate event, but let's put him to rest, okay? All right. So the next one, we're gonna hear a song. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone, and this is a song that we know he was singing. We had a Zoom meeting, and we spoke with him. The medium spoke with him, and she told us that this is a song that he was singing to let us know that he was okay. So the next thing we play is I Can See Clearly Now the Rain is Gone.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. Gonna be a bright, bright, bright,
Good afternoon. My name is Kimberly. I am Khalid's aunt. My beloved nephew. I'm just thinking about every time he would email me and we talked all the time. He'd always say, your nephew, your nephew. I would just like us to just take a moment. I invite all of us to just really settle into our bodies so we can feel the presence, the energy of Khalid. For this is just an outer body, an outer shell. Khalid now resides in our heart, in our spirit, in our souls. And so let's keep them there. Let's feel them there. So I invite you entertain me for just a couple of minutes, just to close your eyes. Feel the vibration of your heart. It's pulsating. Connect to your breath, just the ebb and flow of your breath. Take a deep breath in. Breathe in deeply from the belly, bringing the breath all the way to the heart center, holding it, and then softly exhaling it out. Another deep breath in, bringing it to the heart center, holding it, and then softly exhaling it out. And one final deep breath in, hold it, and as you're holding it, feel the energy, the presence, the spirit. What a large presence, what a large spirit of Khalid. Bringing it into your heart center, and then softly exhaling it out. And so it is. I would like to read to you the 27th Psalm. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When evil men advance against me to devour my flesh, when my enemies and my foes attack me, they will stumble and fall. Though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. Though war break out against me, even then I will be confident. One thing I ask of the Lord, this is what I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord and to seek him in his temple. For in the day of trouble, he will keep me safe in his dwelling. He will hide me in the shelter of his tabernacle and set me high upon a rock. Then my head will be exalted above the enemies who surround me. At his tabernacle, I will sacrifice with shouts of joy. I will sing and make music to the Lord. Hear my voice when I call, O Lord. Be merciful to me and answer me. My heart says of you, seek his face, your face, Lord, I will seek. Do not hide your face from me. Do not turn your servant away in anger. You have been my helper. Do not reject me or forsake me, O God, my Savior. Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. Teach me your way, O Lord. Lead me in a straight path because of my oppressors. Do not turn me over to the desire of my foes, for false witnesses rise up against me, breathing out violence. I am still confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord. Amen. My heart goes out to my dear sister Jessica, the Lewis family, my dear brother Clarence Kwame, the Davis family, as we mourn but celebrate the life of a beautiful, sensitive, loving, brilliant being. And so it is. I would like to invite my nephew, Ezekiel Davis, to come up and read the obituary.
Khalid Malik Davis was born on December 21st, 1998 in Macomb, Illinois. The oldest of two children, born to Clarence Kwame Davis and Rosalind Jessica Lewis. At a young age, his family moved to Kell Stream, Illinois, where he attended and graduated from Glenbar North High School with exceptionally high honors, earning him the distinction of valedictorian of class of 2017. Khalid was brilliant. At a very young age, he taught himself to speak, write, and read French. By the time he entered high school, he was fluent in French. Khalid was an active participant in many organizations, president of the French Club, student body vice president, newspaper writer, and editor, a member of several social justice organizations, and he ran track and field. Some of his honors include 2017, 2018, and 2019 Dean's List Scholar, National AP Scholar, and Excellence in French Study Awards. Upon completing high school, Khalid received a full scholarship to attend McAllister College in St. Paul, Minnesota, where he studied French, philosophy, and political science. After 1 year, Khalid decided to expand his college experience and attend a larger, more diverse university. His intelligence, aptitude, perseverance, and work ethic landed him at the prestigious Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee. After attending a year, he decided to return to McAllister to complete his college tenure and fulfill his dream of going to Paris. In January 2020, Khalid had the opportunity to study abroad in Paris, France. He quickly immersed himself in the culture and enjoyed the experience of attending classes taught in French. But unfortunately, his abroad experience was abruptly cut short due to the pandemic. Returning home, Khalid pushed ahead and focused on graduating a semester in December of 2020. Khalid's graduation came sooner than expected. On September 21st, 2020, Khalid, he chose another route. In lieu of receiving a degree, he received his wings. My brother was a brilliant scholar, a writer, and a teacher who loved reading and loved his family. He had that smile that lit up a whole room and a vocabulary that left many baffled. Man, he was so smart. Boy, like he was his own Google search.
Right.
You know, like he knew everything. It was so crazy. We would look at him like, what? How do you know that? Why? Why do you know that? Khalid was a brilliant scholar, writer, and a teacher who loved his family. He had a smile that lit up a room and a vocabulary that left many baffled. Khalid leaves to cherish his memory, his loving mother, Rosalind Jessica Lewis, father, Clarence Kwame Davis, siblings, my big brother, Damian Lewis, me, his younger brother, Ezekiel Davis, his other younger brother, Deshaun Lewis, his younger sister, Justine Lewis, his younger brother, which is not here, Khalid Davis, and his younger sister, Kimani Davis. Grandparents, Dorothy and Greg Houston. His grandmother, Elaine Davis. And his grandfather, Clarence Davis. Aunts, Kathy Lewis. Kimberly, which is right here next to me. Crystal Davis. Kenda Davis. Uncles, Carl Lewis, Justin Houston, and all of his cousins who are here in attendance, whose hearts he will forever remain. God bless Khalid.
Must I become naked, no image at all? Shall I remain upright or get down and crawl? All of the questions in my life will be answered when I decide which road to choose. What is the answer to the question of you? And that was by Prince, The Question of You. So as we sit in both mourning and celebration of our beloved Khalid, the question that plays on repeat is just enough to ask those questions of yourselves. The questions of why. Why are you here on this planet, in this moment, in this incarnation? Are you choosing to live your life's experiences fully? Or are you short-circuiting your experience by tuning into the vibrations of fear and judgments? Surrendering to your own discovery of truth and healing keeps you attuned to the vibration of love, forgiveness, and gratitude. And these are the raw ingredients needed to heal our broken minds, our bodies, and spirits. Be conscious. Be aware of what you are choosing and what you are allowing to choose you. What I do know is that everything, no matter how it looks to us, is divine. We are imperfect people with perfect journeys. We all have our unique missions and purposes to fulfill in this lifetime. Khalid completed his mission. He received the divine wisdom, knowledge, and liberation his heart so desired. He is a magnificent, brilliant beam of light, a sacred ancestor that is filled with a tremendous amount of love and gratitude for each and every last one of you. Everyone who he shared his heart and your hearts and lives with. And now, it is up to you. All of us, to honor his legacy by fulfilling your unique mission, inclusive of healing your severed minds, bodies, and spirits, and discovering the answers to the questions of you. And so it is. I invite you just one more time to just close your eyes. That was a lot to receive, and I want you to be able to really embrace and to receive it. So just close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath in. Bring it into your heart. Your heart needs so much love right now. And then softly exhale it out. And now we'll have a song selection. This is one of Khalid's favorite French artists, Jemay Terry is the name of the song, I think. I don't speak French. By Maître Gims. He would kill me for chopping it up like that, but it is what it is. I don't speak French. But this song is a very, very powerful song, so although it is in French, just have your experience and listen to the beautiful words. And you could also, if you choose to read the obituary as we're listening to this song. Thank you.
Je me tire, me demande pas pourquoi je suis parti sans motif. Parfois je sens mon cœur qui s'endurcit. C'est triste à dire mais plus rien ne m'attriste. Laisse-moi partir loin d'ici. Pour garder le sourire je me disais qu'il y a pire. Si c'est comme ça bah fuck la vie d'artiste. Je sais que ça fait cliché de dire qu'on est pris pour cible, mais je veux le dire juste pour la rime. Je me tire dans un endroit où je serai pas le suspect. Après je vais changer de nom comme Cassius Clay. Un endroit où j'aurais plus besoin de prendre le mic. Un endroit où tout le monde s'en tape de ma life. Je me tire, demande pas pourquoi je suis parti sans motif. Parfois je sens mon cœur qui s'endurcit. C'est triste à dire mais plus rien ne m'attriste. Laisse-moi partir loin d'ici. Pour garder le sourire je me disais qu'il y a pire. Si c'est comme ça bah fuck la vie d'artiste. Je sais que ça fait cliché de dire qu'on est pris pour cible, mais je veux le dire juste pour la rime. Si je reste, les gens me fuiront sûrement comme la peste. Vos interviews m'ont donné trop de maux de tête. La vérité c'est que je m'auto-déteste. Faut que je préserve tout ce qu'il me reste. Et tous ces gens qui voudraient prendre mon tel, allez leur dire que je suis pas leur modèle. Merci à ceux qui disent me qui on t'aime, malgré ta couleur ébène. Je me tire dans un endroit où je serai pas le suspect. Après je vais changer de nom comme Cassius Clay. Un endroit où j'aurais plus besoin de prendre le mic. Un endroit où tout le monde s'en tape de ma life. Je me tire, me demande pas pourquoi je suis parti sans motif. Parfois je sens mon cœur qui s'endurcit. C'est triste à dire mais plus rien ne m'attriste. Laisse-moi partir loin d'ici. Pour garder le sourire je me disais qu'il y a pire. Si c'est comme ça va fuck la vie d'artiste. Je sais que ça fait cliché de dire qu'on est plus pour cible. Mais je veux dire juste pour la rire. Je suis parti sans mentir, sans me dire qu'est-ce que je vais devenir. Stop, ne réfléchis plus, me guide. Stop, ne réfléchis plus, vas-y. Parti sans mentir, sans me dire qu'est-ce que je vais devenir. Stop, ne réfléchis plus, me guide. Stop, ne réfléchis plus, vas-y. Je me tire, me demande pas pourquoi je suis parti sans motif. Parfois je sens mon cœur qui s'endurcit. C'est triste à dire mais plus rien ne m'attriste. Laisse-moi partir loin d'ici. Pour garder le sourire je me disais qu'il y a pire. Si c'est comme ça va fuck la vie d'artiste. Je sais que ça fait cliché de dire qu'on est pris pour cible. Mais je veux dire juste pour la rire.
And now we would like to open the mic for any personal tributes, stories, anything that you want to share in celebration, because this is a celebration, in celebration of his life. And so, yes, he was here 21 years, but Khalid lived more in his 21 years than some people do in an entire lifetime. So anything that you want to share, please come up.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Greg Houston. In French, that's Grégoire Hustel. I took French in high school, so we might as well keep a French theme here. Khalid is my grandson. I'm his grandpa, and proud of it. And there's a couple of stories that I want to tell you guys. I was really around Khalid a lot when he was young. And I remember when he was in the 3rd grade, and they had a parent-teacher day, and Jessica had to go to the hospital, to the doctor, so she couldn't make it. So I said, well, I'm not doing nothing. I'll go. Why not? So I went and spent the day with him, Lincoln School. So we're in the classroom, sitting there, listening, watching. Teacher asked a question. And Khalid, he was the first one with that smile and had the answer. So went to lunch and all that, So like I said, I spent the day. And so me and the teacher are walking down the hall. And Khalid's up, in front of us. And so I asked the teacher, I said, well, how's he doing? How's my grandson doing? Is he one of the sharper ones in the room? And this was the teacher's answer. She said, he's not only the smartest kid in the room, he's the smartest kid in the 3rd class, in the whole 3rd class. I'm like, whoa. So, and then that same summer, we have it's called Juneteenth, and I'm sure most of you are familiar with Juneteenth celebration. So, and I was president of the NAACP for like 25 years. So naturally, I had to speak at the Juneteenth celebration in Macomb. Dr. Rutledge there usually spoke at the Juneteenth celebration too. So I said to myself, I said, boy, I want to do something different because, you know, I gave the same old dry speech every year, you know. So I said, Khalid, you know, he said he was 9 years old. I said, Khalid, I said, if I got you a speech, do you think you could say the speech and get in front of a bunch of people and not have any problems and, you know, give a good speech? Of course, he says, oh, yeah, Grandpa, yeah. So I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, I know you're saying that. So I said, okay. So I got the speech, and I forget the name of the speech, but it was a fairly nice, long speech. So I got the speech, gave it to him, and I said, okay, I want you to read this to me. Well, he read it to me, and I forget the word. I've been thinking for the past 2 weeks, there was one word in there that he had problems with, and I can't remember what that word was, but I remember he kept having problems with it. So this was about 2 weeks before Juneteenth, so I would see Khalid, you know, around the house and stuff, and I said, Khalid, I said, how you doing on that speech? Oh, I'm doing good, Grandpa, I'm doing good. I said, you getting it? He would recite some stuff to me, and okay, we'll see. So we get to the Juneteenth celebration, and I know he's nervous, 9 years old, and it's packed. Juneteenth celebration in Macomb is packed. So he gets up there, gives the speech, flawless, doesn't miss a word, doesn't miss a beat. And what was funny was, and this is what, like I said, this is something I remember. I remember after he gave the speech, he got a standing ovation. 9 years old, he got a standing ovation. And I never will forget, before we started walking off, I said, Khalid, take a bow. And not only that, Dr. Al Goldfarb, the president of the university, was out in the audience. And Dr. Goldfarb stood up and hollered, those are the kind of students that we want to go to Western Illinois University. And he's hollering about a 9-year-old kid that just gave a speech. So, and like I said, I know there's a lot of things being said about how bright and brilliant Khalid was, and he was brilliant. Clarence, did he get that from you? he did. But Khalid was also a very decent young man, a very nice young man, a very kind young man. I'm sorry, but sorry. He was a very decent young man, very decent. Didn't have anything bad to say about anybody. You asked him to do something, he didn't hesitate about doing it. Never been in trouble in his life. Didn't drink, didn't smoke, didn't do drugs. Khalid always, what he wanted to do was go to the library. You were right about that. He, you know, most of the kids would, hey, I'm going out tonight, go to party tonight, whatever. Khalid, what are you doing? Well, I'm going to go to the library, Grandpa. Wow, okay. It paid off, too. Very bright young man, very decent human being. So that is the way that, you know, that's how I knew Khalid. That's what I'm going to remember of Khalid, and I hope you do too. So, like I said, you know, a very decent young man. So.
My name is Justine Lewis, and I am Khalid's sister. I don't have many memories of him because I was so young, but there was this one story where my mom told me at Christmas time that really had a really big impression on me of who he was as a person. So, and I wasn't born yet, but Mom said she loves boots, and Khalid whenever she lost her boots, because there was a really good pair she liked, he bought her a new one for Christmas, and that made me think a lot about who he was and how much I didn't know about him. But I think it was a really, really good brother, even if I didn't see him often. But I love him, and I will never miss him.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Clarence Davis. I am Khalid's father. And so many memories of my son, my firstborn, my oldest, is someone who I always admired. He is everything that I wanted to be. Maybe I'm smart, but he was 3 times as smart as me. He's the only one that I would ever try to have a debate with that he would destroy my point instantly. He just could recite things. He knew things that I didn't think that he knew. As I'm older, and he wouldn't be able to know that, but he knows it. He was a researcher, but it was off. Most of the stuff was off the top of his head. Just a brilliant, wonderful child and young man that he became. I will always admire my son, and I will never forget him. He meant the world to me. He still does, as I know he has transitioned. I know the things I wanted for him. I guess that's what I wanted. I felt like he had it all. He had everything that I wanted. As I said, I've always admired and looked up to him. And I was just so ready for his December graduation. I was so ready for my firstborn to walk across the stage, but I guess that's something that I wanted. So I have to separate what I wanted versus what he wanted for himself. And it is so incredibly hard to accept. Indeed, my heart is broken. I just so much more. But just remember him and just continue to carry on as I will be strong for my family. But of the Davis family, he was our second oldest grandchild of my mother, Elaine Davis. And we have a lot of boys in our family, all first cousins. If you see the photos, they all grew up together. So they were more than just first cousins, they were siblings almost. So I would miss his physical presence, I will say that. But I will always admire him. The smartest man I've ever known. Thank you.
Excuse me. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kira, Khalid's oldest cousin on his dad's side. This is extremely hard. As Kwame was right, Khalid was more than just a cousin to us. He was like a sibling. I got so many memories of Khalid. And what pains me most is the holidays are coming up. And I just remember all the fun times we used to have on the holidays, our store runs we used to go and take. All the trips we used to take, and I'm so blessed that I have my grandmother who gave us an opportunity for us to even get to know him, to get to know such a brilliant person. And I know you guys have said that 1,000 times, but Khalid was a different kind of person. Like, you would talk to him, and he would say words to you, and you would look at him like, what? What are you talking about? And he was like, oh, that meant no. And I'm like, well, why you just didn't say that? You had to use this big old word that nobody didn't know what that meant. But I admired that about Khalid, and I was so excited. I used to tell my friends, like, yeah, I got a cousin who can speak French. He's going places. You're going to see him in magazines and newspapers and on the news one day. Watch. And it pains me that, we'll never get the opportunity, but he had other plans that he wanted to do. And he had other things. And he had so much pain in him. And you could just take a look at his eyes and just see the pain in him. And I'm happy he's found his peace. I'm happy he's in a bigger place. It may be painful for us, but as of right now, I've been feeling his presence so much that it's almost scary sometimes how much I feel him around. How I sometimes feel like I can see him just sitting right there and hear his voice and see his little smirky face that he used to always make. I just want to say I love you, Khalid. And I know, even though you're not here with us present, you're here with us physically. And I will see you one day. But I just want to know that we're here for you. We always loved you. And I will never forget you. And I will make sure that nobody around you forever forgets you. I love you, Khalid.
I want to share a note from his professor. Where's this from? And there's a few more, but I'll leave that for afterwards, whoever wants to read them. But this one I would like to share. This is from the Department of French in Francophone Studies, and this is from McAllister. Dear Ms. Lewis, my name is Andrew Billing, and I was Kai's academic advisor at McAllister and one of his professors in the Department of French and Francophone Studies. Please let me begin by expressing my sincerest condolences on Kai's. Did you guys know he went by Kai, K-A-I? Yeah, so on Kai's death. We were all extremely shocked and deeply saddened to learn of his passing and have been at a loss to understand as we try to grieve. I first met Kai in fall of 2017 in the course that I taught for first-year students on the French Revolution and its effects throughout French history down through the present day. I loved having Kai in class. He was one of the most engaged and gifted students in the class, always prepared, kind to his classmates, and contributing smart and perspective comments. Kai was a little quiet and reserved, which I appreciated because I am also like that. But he also participated and gave a lot of himself. The papers that he wrote for the class were also excellent. Kai made an impression on me in his first semester. My colleagues and I were really happy when he went on to declare a French major. I remember taking Kai on a field trip to the University of Minnesota to hear a talk by the former French Foreign Minister, Christina Tabrea. I asked him where he had developed his interest in French and whether it was something in his family background. He smiled and said that it was personal to him and that he had always been interested in French growing up. When Kai told me that he wanted to transfer to Vanderbilt University for his sophomore year, we were all disappointed to lose such a promising student, but I also encouraged Kai to transfer if he felt that it would really be a better fit for him. Kai said that McAllister was too small and reminded him of his high school, and he wanted to be in a larger university. We were all surprised and happy in the department when Kai returned to McAllister for his junior year and, and to finish his French major with us. He said that while McAllister was not perfect, it was a better place for him to be. Kai seemed very excited to be able to spend a semester in Paris this past spring. It must have been disappointing for him when his program was forced to close due to COVID-19 and he had to return to the U.S. I talked with him on Zoom in spring and then again over the summer, and he seemed to have accepted the situation. We also emailed after the murder of Mr. Gregory Floyd. He expressed that he was concerned due to the unrest here in the Twin Cities at the time, and then in the Chicago suburbs where he returned briefly, but I had the impression that he was happy to be back in St. Paul and living on campus again. I recently heard from his professors at the Study Away Center in Paris. They described Kai as not only an outstanding scholar, but one with both critical acumen and great sensitivity. They forwarded on some notes from other professors whose classes Kai had taken in Paris. One of his professors at the Sorbonne University in Paris commented that Kai's work was remarkable. Another also noted that Kai's work was of the highest quality and that it was both clear and sincere. Some of Kai's other professors may have mentioned his internship at the Alliance France here in Minneapolis, where he made great impressions on all the staff and students. In the first year of McAllister's, Kai also was an intern in a middle school in St. Paul, where students appreciated him as a kind and patient teacher of French and mentor. Because of Kai's time at Vanderbilt in Paris, he took most of his classes in French outside of our department, and I did not have him in class again since the first year course. However, just a couple of weeks ago, Kai decided to change the subject for his final capstone, which is a research project that all French majors have to do. Kai decided to write it on a novel called Orchia, about a young girl from Senegal who is brought up from France in the 19th century by a wealthy, aristocratic white family. He had a very interesting proposal to use the ideas of the 19th century German philosopher Hegel to discuss race and identity in Orchia. I was really looking forward to working with Kai on the project and seeing how he would develop it. Please know how much Kai was admired and appreciated in our department at McAllister College by both his professors and by his fellow students. I held him in the highest esteem both as a student and as a person. Kai's death is a profound and tragic loss, and we are all struggling to grieve and to process it. I am very sorry to be writing you this letter, Ms. Lewis, instead of seeing you at Kai's graduation. I always remember him. Sincerely, Andrew Billing.
I don't even really know where to begin. That was my first youngest brother. I got so many memories of him. We used to do a lot of things. But one thing I do want to say is that obviously he was smart and bright. He was so nonchalant about stuff. He always overexceeded any expectation that he had. I remember one time, I came in his room, because I used to ask him for help for my homework all the time. I remember one time, I used to have him even read over like my papers and stuff. And he was always open and honest. He'd always be like, yeah, sure, come on. But one time, I walked in his room, and there was just a stack of letters, like literally, just stacks. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not talking about, like probably at least 30, 40 letters. I'm like, Khalid, what is this? Oh, he's like, these are just offers. I'm like, what you mean they just offers from schools? He's like, yeah, I'm looking through them. It's like Big Ten colleges. It's everything. He was just like so nonchalant. He was just like, yes. He was like, yeah. People want me to go there, but I don't know what I want to do. So he was just. Huh? When? Oh yeah, Khalid. Yeah, Khalid had everything. Like mentally, like he just was always put together and out there, and I was always just little distraught sometimes. But I remember one time I came in his room and asked him for a shirt to fit, knowing he looked at me like I was crazy. He looked at me like, you know damn well you can't fit my clothes. But I ended up wearing it anyway. It was really tight, but I ended up wearing it anyway. And he didn't want it back, obviously. So, but I could go on and on about Khalid. I love you, brother. I'm gonna always love you no matter what.
Hi, everyone. Khalid was my big cousin, so of course a big cousin. You always look up to him. Um, Before Khalid passed away during COVID, we spent a lot of time together. He stayed at our house for several months. So I really got to know Khalid. I will never forget every night. He was just always there with us, eating dinner. And like he truly like enjoyed, and it seemed like he was truly happy to just be there with us. All of our cousins, like Kira said, like we're like siblings. And I just want to thank my grandmother for having that relationship that you built with all of our cousins, because like Khalid is like a brother to us, and I'm just happy that he's in a better place now. And I'll always have this memory. Before he left for Paris, me and my brother Kevin, we told him, we was like, Khalid, you got to bring us back some candy. And of course, 3 months later, he comes back with this big bag of French candy. And I'll have to say that was like one of the best candy man my brother has ever had. So I just want to share that memory, and I miss you, Khalid, and I love you.
Ooh. Hey guys, my name is Carl Lewis. I wasn't gonna say anything. I'm the uncle. And Khalid, he was the man. I spent one summer with him, and my immediate family know living with me is rough. I'm a neat freak. Everything gotta be done right. But Khalid challenged me, man. He challenged me. I never seen somebody with a male with so much product. Never in my life. I'm thinking he gonna come with a trash bag and with a few clothes. This man filled my house. I looked at him and I was like, man, God bless you. It drove me crazy, but I enjoyed that summer with him though, because he was pretty much like me. I cut his hair for the first time. Man, I had to go over and over it because it had to be perfect for this man. Everything for him had to be perfect. It breaks my heart. I'll never see him again. The one thing I will hold with me though, when I knew he was intelligent, he wrote a great poem. I wish I would have brought it. And I didn't hang around this man that much when he was young. One of his assignments, though, he wrote a great poem about me, and it tried me to the T about how I walked my dog, how I worked out, and one thing I'm always holding within my heart. So, Khalid, God bless you, brother. Be at peace, my man. Love you.
Good afternoon. I'm back up here again. Khalid, he was just incredible, growing up with him. And I wanted to just start off with thanking on my grandma and on my aunties for all the memories he had going over there. We used to have the time of our lives, just me and him going out there, kicking with all our cousins, just laughing it out, doing whatever. We had the best of times. And he was a dual threat. Cause growing up, I was like, okay, he's way smarter than me. There's no way I can keep up with that. I'm like, I got you on the sports though. You're not faster than me though. You don't want to race or nothing. And we got out there and he just smoked me. There's no way. There's just no way you can do it both. Are you kidding me? And I remember this one memory, my friends, they was just talking so crazy to me. Because, we used to run track back in high school. And they was just fascinating me. I was like, okay, let me call my big brother out here. Let me show y'all what's up for real. And he got out there, and he just smoked them. And they couldn't believe it. They were speechless. I was like, yeah, that's my big brother. Yeah, he was just so talented in everything he did. He was just so committed. Just the smartest person I just ever knew. You know, I remember my mom, she told me a story about how he was younger. He was like 7 years old. And he was, like back then he could understand a lot. And she told me he tried to cut his wrist. And he was only like 7. My big brother, Damian, he stopped it and he saved him. I'm like, what? Khalid, he was depressed at 7 years old. How could you even understand that type of, sadness and pain that young? I just had no idea. And Clay, he was special to everyone he knew. Just so brilliant. Like Kira said, he may be gone, but he will never be forgotten by anybody ever. We will forever remember him for all the good he did, for all just being Khalid, lighting up the room. If you needed to know something, he was a man to find. He would answer that question and get you right real quick. This is my older brother. It's gonna be hard just never seeing him again as he was. I'm gonna miss you forever. I love you, Khalid. Thank you.
Are there any more personal tributes? All right, before we close, before I have Cameron do the closing poem and acknowledgments, I put together a very powerful tribute video for Khalid, just for us to smile and reflect on the many memories and the many times, many good times that we've had with him. So we can just sit and enjoy the video before we close.
my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. All light. Oh, light. Yeah. Oh, light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. Yeah. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light. 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 I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I am light. the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 Hey, yeah. I am light. I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. All light. Oh, light. Yeah. Oh, light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. Yeah. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light. 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 I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cameron Davis. I am Khalid's oldest cousin. And before I give the final speech, I would just like to say a few words. I'm going to keep it short. I don't want to be long-winded. I would just like to thank Khalid for the relationship that we did have. Khalid was not just like a cousin to me or a brother, but we were also friends. I feel like sometimes you get that one person in your family or your friends that you're really able to trust. You can confide in. He was my person. So this is definitely really hard for me. But I would definitely like to just thank him for always being my right-hand man in any situation. Even as a grown up, not just as a kid, I rode my first plane by myself with Khalid, and I'm extremely terrified of heights and planes, and he was there for me. So I will always just like to thank him for that and just cherish the relationship that we had and all of the bonds and the tight memories that we have, and I will always keep them close to my heart. Growing up, Khalid was always, I was always older than everyone. So when I was playing basketball with them, I was more better than them at basketball. When I was running against them, I was better than them because I was older. When Khalid came around, everybody knew it's going to be Cam and Khalid going up against each other. And he always made me want to grind harder with everything that I did. While I was out playing basketball, he would be in the house reading Greek mythology and, into different type of things that I wasn't into. And just because I wasn't into it, I always respected that that was his choice. So I will always love you and just thank you for being there for me, and you will always be my brother. But the poem that I would like to read is The Darkest Hour by James Baldwin. The darkest hour is just before the dawn, and that I see, which does not guarantee power to draw the next breath, nor abolish the suspicion that the brightest hour we will ever see occurs just before we cease to be. Thank you.
And so if there aren't any final thoughts or comments, well, I'm just going to read the acknowledgements. Even if there are final thoughts and comments, just feel free to come up. But the family wishes to acknowledge with deep appreciation the many expressions of love, concern, and kindness shown to them during this hour of bereavement. May God bless and keep all of you, the Lewis and Davis family. Thank you.
Et sur le toit de la terre, d'ici j'y verrai plus clair. Oui, tout autour c'est la